Hi my gorgeous Pisces, it's Jill and welcome to Tarot by the Sea. Right, I've just tried to do your reading. First of all, I was getting all my words mixed up and my dates mixed up. The feeling that I got and what kept coming up was this may relate to something that happened at the beginning of last year. Okay, it may not, but I kept saying January and February last year, which kind of makes me think these things are never an accident. Okay, so maybe it relates to something back then. I've already laid out your Gilded Tarot cards. So I've got Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti, and I've also got the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I've laid out your Gilded Tarot already, and I'm just doing your Fairy Oracle, your Fairy Tarot now. I will go through the cards with you so that you know what we've got. Okay. I hope you're really well. I'm sorry for the light. If I open the blinds, it's too light, and if I don't open the blinds, then it's too dark. So I can't really win today. Right, this could be to do with a Virgo. Here we go. So we have the Hermit on the bottom of this deck. Could be to do with a Virgo. Could be, it's a number 9 card. Could be something to do with coming to the end of a cycle with a Virgo. But it also says, find or be your mentor. Take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. So maybe you're reaching the end of a process of spiritual growth. You may also be getting to the point where you're in education and you're doing something more practical. So perhaps you're doing work placement or something like that as part of your course. Or maybe, what am I getting for you? I am getting that quite strongly. Also, if you're like in an apprenticeship or something like that, or something to do with your job, there may be someone who is teaching you something. Okay, it may be you're at that point where you're moving on to that. Some of you are going inside. Some of you are taking time out for yourself and just basically chilling because it's winter, literally chilling. Why am I getting the card? There's something really strong about that Hermit card. We'll come back to it. It seems like it's really, really fundamental. Okay, there's something about that. And then on the bottom of the deck you have the World. So maybe this is the ending of something or coming to the completion of something. And it could be of two things. It could be the end of two things. So because you have the 10 and the 1. And basically you're going out on your own. So for some of you it might be that you're finishing work and you're becoming self-employed. And the world is your oyster, which is amazing. For others of you, it could be the end of something with this Virgo. It could be coming out of a period of being the Hermit. Okay? And it could be the end of education. It could be the end of whatever you have been learning, and now you're going out into the real world. You're going out into the real world to actually do what it is that you're doing. Right, okay. So you have the 7 of Cups is your first card in the Gilded Tarot. So you have options. So for some of you, if this is the end of a period of education or something and you're actually starting to think about work, you have got work options, okay? If it's a relationship, my feeling is that you may be an option. And you may have options too. So it will work one way or the other. The other card that we've got is the 10 of Spring. Ask for help from others. So the 10 of Spring is the 10 of Wands. Ask for help from others. All work and no play, being weighed down by too many responsibilities. My sense that I'm getting actually is perhaps these aren't options. I mean, you have got options, okay? Some of you have got options as to what you want to do in your career. You may have options in relationships as well. But my sense is that for some of you, these are all the things that you have to do, okay? These are your wands that you're carrying. So you have, you know, maybe you're worried about money. Maybe you're trying to keep things going at home. We had this, I think, in your, no, that was Libras, actually, where they were trying to balance everything. If you have Libra in your chart, it's quite possible that that's true. You're trying to keep everything together. You're feeling overburdened and you're trying to keep everything together. That's for some of you. For some of you, it is that you have this mentor card, okay? You have this mentor card. And then you have ask for help from others. All work and no play, which is also the Hermit, okay? So maybe you've been working too hard and you're being weighed down by all these responsibilities. Maybe you're not quite sure where to go. Maybe if you're finishing and you have these opportunities, you have these options in terms of work or anything else, it may be that you go and talk to other people. Maybe go and talk, if you're younger, maybe you're going to talk to your parents, or maybe if you want to apply for a new job, maybe you go and talk to other people who work in that organisation. Maybe you know someone who works there, and maybe you talk to them and say, well, what do you think? I've got these options and I don't know which one to take. So perhaps you're asking for advice from this Hermit. The Hermit is wise, okay? And again, it could be a Virgo. So you could be asking advice from somebody about the options that you have. This is looking a little bit like a work reading. Okay. Okay. For some of you, this is relationship. Okay. You have these two cards. You have the Nine of Pentacles and you have the Lovers. So for some of you, the options are whether to stay single or whether to get involved in a relationship. Okay. You're actually okay on your own, but it's like, do I want this relationship? So maybe there is something on offer. Maybe you have many options in terms of your love life. For some of you, I wonder whether, because this, okay, I wonder whether this is looking to get into a third party or not, because we have this single independent female, okay, financially stable, all abundant, yeah, and then we have this married couple. So maybe if you are this person, then you are looking to get into a third party. If you are the person in the Lovers card, perhaps there is someone who is interfering in your relationship. Maybe there's a third party who's looking in. Doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic one, okay? If you look at the picture, the man is looking at his partner. He's not looking at the external person. It could be someone else. It could be someone else outside of your relationship. For some of you as well, if it's all work and no play, perhaps this is kind of reiterating it, where it's a choice between love and money. Okay, it's like, do I want love? Do I want money? Okay, do I want to be single and independent and financially abundant? Do I want to get married? Do I want to concentrate on a relationship? Okay. And for others of you, it's getting involved with someone who is financially abundant and independent and those kind of things. So that's what we have for those two. Right, we have the Six of Spring, which is the Six of Wands, if you can see the card. Okay, you have to excuse my nails, I have to go and get them done. And then we have the Five of Cups. It's been crazy. This is the reason that I didn't get videos out again. Same old story, builders, okay? But we're nearly there. We are nearly there, thank God, and I can get back to work. Wonderful news that's on its way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success and public recognition. I think that basically you've been in this state over something, okay? You've been crying over spilt milk, or however you want to put it. It's such a cliche. But actually, good news is on its way. Okay, so whatever this is, I think good news is on its way. And this ties back in as well. There may be some things that have, you had these options, okay, and maybe you've tried some of these options and you're feeling a little bit despondent, but you still have options, and you're being told that good news is coming in and success is on its way. So you need to make smart choices, okay, and I think that's what you're doing. I think you're making the smart choices. Right, then we have Temperance and we have the Moon. We have these two cards, okay. Now the Moon means something slightly different in this deck. The Moon is usually about secrets. It's about tuning into your intuition. It's about things possibly sometimes being illuminated as well, but not as clearly as the Sun, okay. The Sun card is obviously the happiness and everything else, but the Moon does shed some light on things. And it says, powerful intuitive epiphanies, letting go of fear and worry, understanding the truth of a situation. And I think you're getting your balance. I think you're understanding something is coming to light, okay? Secrets are coming out and you're getting your balance. Yeah, you're balancing. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, if you look at the top, if you look at what she's holding, okay, I really need to change where I'm sitting. What she's holding is, she has a cup, and water is emotions, okay, so there are emotions flowing, and there is also passion in there as well, because you have the fire, and then that's going into another cup, which is emotions, which is filling up with emotions too. But the one that she's holding isn't her. Okay, so if this is you, if this is you, then you're looking at something which is fiery and emotional, okay? If that's your cup, the other person is seeing that you are feeling fiery and emotional, and that's filling their cup, okay? That's filling their cup. And that's making them feel emotionally fulfilled as well. However, on saying that, where are my glasses? Oh my goodness, there they are. Right, on saying that, she's got her eyes closed. Why did he do this? Okay, she has her eyes closed. So for some of you, the other person is seeing that. For some of you, they're not, or you're not. Maybe you're not seeing. Maybe you're not looking at it. Maybe you're being offered something. Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe you're being offered something which is going to be emotionally fulfilling for you and passionate. But you're being told that you need to let go of the fear and worry about this. Okay, understand the truth of the situation. Yeah, open your eyes and see what is in front of you. So that's what we have for that one. Right, I'm going to have to move where I'm sitting because it's driving me crazy. And again, we have balance. We just said about having balance, okay? We have balance. And if you can see the two cards, oops-a-daisy, it's the same card, okay? That cup is being fulfilled, possibly by a Leo, actually. Sorry, my camera just went a little bit funny. I hope it's recorded okay. Possibly by a Leo, and certainly by a fire sign, I think. So it could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Okay, and it says, take everyone's input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better situation. Take your time, and there's no need to rush. Okay. So again, she's looking away from this Leo. Look, she's looking away from the lion. She's looking away from her cup being filled. If you look at what's coming out of his mouth, it's red, okay? And red is the colour of passion. But it is kind of red water. So it's emotion and passion. It's the same thing as in here. Yeah, you have that fiery energy. It's in front of you, but again, she's looking away. And to be quite honest, he's looking away from her too. He's not looking at her. But he is filling her cup. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with you guys at the moment. But what you do have is there, you have the Two of Cups, and they are looking at each other. Or are they? Have they got their eyes closed? No, they haven't. They've actually got their eyes open. Okay. So they are looking at each other. And this can be a soulmate card. It can also just be about making a decision about something that is emotionally fulfilling. Okay. It's two people. And it's being on the same page. If you look, they're having the same idea. They're having the same idea, and they're thinking about their cups. For some of you, I think you're thinking about your own cup. And that's really good, because you're not necessarily looking at filling the other person's cup. Okay, you're looking at filling your own cup. So it's like, is this going to be emotionally fulfilling for me? Is this going to work for me? This could be a younger person. If you're the lady, this could be a younger male. Okay, it may not be, but it could be. And they could be an earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn. It could be an air sign, so Leo, Gemini and Sagittarius. Is that right? I can't even remember now, sorry. And a water sign, so Scorpio, Pisces or Cancer. Okay, so that's not really that much help to you, to be honest. But you have got water in there, so that's what it could be. And you have identical cups. It could be, again, it comes back to, it could be this really balanced relationship. And I think you both have the same idea, you know, you have this circle going around you and you're both thinking about your own cup. But the circle goes right the way around, so you're thinking about the other person's cup too. But it's not a complete circle, so it's not over yet. Whatever this is, it's not over yet. So this could be a relationship that has happened in the past and it hasn't gone full circle. And for some of you, it could be that it's not going to go full circle. Okay, for some of you, it's going to stop because it's not going full circle. So for some of you, that might mean that it's not going to end, it's going to be continuous, and there's just going to be this equal exchange, okay, of energy between the two cups. But for some of you, I'm just very aware that this isn't helpful, because for some of you, it's not the ending of something, and for some of you, it is. And I think it depends on whether you open your eyes or not. I think it depends on whether you open your eyes or not and you see this and you share this idea. I think perhaps you're feeling a little bit guarded. And I'm just looking for cards to kind of clarify that, and I'm not seeing any at the moment. But you're just not looking at it. So I'm possibly going to clarify that depending on what comes out in these cards. Now, we have 3 cards at this point. We have the Two of Winter, which is the Two of Air, Two of Swords. Then we have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Three of Cups. Okay, so again, we went to this card and we were talking about third-party relationship, and that's a possibility because we have the Three of Cups. Okay, and again, it could be with this Earth sign person. Okay, the Earth sign person is looking at the Two of Winter. Yeah. This Earth sign person is looking at Two of Winter. Two of Winter is about making a decision. Okay, it's about making a decision about something, or not being able to make a decision about it. So maybe this King of Pentacles can't make a decision about what's going on here. Maybe he can't make a decision about this third-party relationship. It could also just be going out. Okay, it could just also just be being friends and going out and celebrating and things like that. So it's quite possible. And you have the Two of Cups and the Three of Cups. So for some of you, this King of Pentacles is thinking about moving this relationship forward. Okay. Or you are. Because it could be in your chart too. You could be this King of Pentacles. I'm actually showing up in my readings a lot as the King of Pentacles at the moment, which is really weird because I am so not Pentacles. But there's a lot of financial stuff going on with the building and stuff. And it says, indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. Okay. Now this, Two of Winter, okay, if you look, this child is looking at this instrument. Okay, so it's creative and it's all sparkly and shiny and beautiful. But the instrument, I think, is called a lyre. So it could be that this child's looking at this and going, yes, it's all sparkly and creative and beautiful, and we could make beautiful music together. But they're a liar. Or I think they might be a liar. Because if you look, he doesn't look happy. He doesn't look happy. And that could be you looking at this other person and going, oh my goodness, that's beautiful. But you weren't looking. So maybe the other person is looking at you and wondering this. Yeah? And the King of Pentacles is looking at this. But the child is looking away from the King of Pentacles. So I think personally that it's you who is that child who is looking and going, is this person a liar? They're sparkly and they're beautiful and they're wonderful, but are they lying to me? And you can't decide. You can't make this decision, which is why you're not looking. Maybe you really want this passion. Maybe you really want this. Yeah. Maybe you want to open your eyes and see this because you know it's going to be emotionally fulfilling for you. But you don't have all the information, which is why you have the Moon card. Things are only kind of partially illuminated. And you're like, I don't know. I can't decide. I'm not sure. And maybe this is why you're going inside. And you're listening to your intuition and you're trying to see what's going to happen. Right, that's your reading. What we do have, though, is that wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices bring rewards, success and public recognition. So you're making smart choices. And we also have the Three of Summer on the bottom as well, which is the Three of Cups again. But in this reading, okay, so it's referring back to this. And maybe this is the answer to your question. Maybe you couldn't get clarity and this is the answer to your question. All right? So you go inside and it says, news worth celebrating, announcements such as weddings, graduations or births, friends that you cherish. It's news worth celebrating. Oh my God, Pisces will do this to me every time. Okay, it could go one way or the other. It could be news worth celebrating because you have wonderful news on its way. Okay, then you have announcements such as weddings, graduations or births. We did say about graduations actually, didn't we, about the career side of it. Oh God, okay, wonderful news is on its way. News worth celebrating. That's for one part of it. Okay, smart choices that bring rewards, announcements such as weddings, graduations or birth. Yes, I'm married. Okay, bugger off. Yeah. And success and public recognition, friends that you cherish. And for some of you, you're just having a really good time with your friends. Okay, so there are three storylines there, I think. You go from being the hermit to actually getting back out into the world. Okay, for some of you, you find out that this person has got another relationship and you tell them to bugger off. And for some of you, you find out that actually this person isn't a liar. They are glitzy, they are wonderful, and they're beautiful, and you can make beautiful music together. Pisces, you and your fish. It's going to go one way or the other for you, Pisces. It always does. It's down to your decision making. Okay, we have quite a few. How many major arcanas do we have? We actually have quite a few major arcanas, you know. We got a lot of major arcanas, guys. For a week, okay, we've got the Hermit, we've got Balance, we've got the Moon, we've got Temperance, again, which is balance, and we've got the Lovers, and we've got the World. That is a huge number. You've got an entire reading, again, just in major arcana. This is going to be a big week for you to make a decision. And the card that was on the bottom of the deck on the Gilded Tarot just then was the Ten of Cups, and then you had the Three of Cups went on top of it, and then you have the Two of Winter, which is indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. Okay, it's like, for some of you, it's going to be the Three of Cups. For some, and Three of Cups, the celebration card. And you also have the Ten of Cups as well. It really could be a happy home. It really could be that happy home. And I think basically what's going to happen is you need to go inside. You have the Hermit. You need to go inside. You need to get balance. Okay, you need to get that balance. Things will become illuminated over time, and again, you need to open your eyes and see what's happening. And I think for a lot of you, it's the Lovers or it's the end. Okay. I'm just looking at your numbers. 11. Oh my God. Okay, you know I do numbers in a weird way. Right, okay. I'm going to show you something. Okay. Now this could be wrong. If you look at the first two numbers there, you have 11. Okay. You have 11. but then you have the 5. But you had the 5 to the 6, okay, and 5 and 6 is 11. So you have 11, 11, and then you have 11. No, don't. You have 21. Okay. So why is that relevant? So we have 11, 11, obviously, soulmate, twin flame, generally. Oh, goodness. For some of you, it might be the end of a twin flame relationship as well. For some of you, it's twin flame. For some of you, it's the end of a twin flame. We don't always get to be with our twins. We don't always get to be with our twins in this life. That's a blessing, quite honestly, because the person who I think is mine is a bleeding nightmare, and no thank you very much, and I'm not hanging around for that one. Twin flames are basically, they're funny things. It's like you go through life, it's like soulmates, you go through lifetimes with them, and you go off and you do your different journeys, and you go off and you learn the things that you need to learn, and at some point you get back together. Okay, but it doesn't have to be in one lifetime. It's like sometimes it's sometimes it can go over many, many lifetimes, before you reunite with your twin. It's really hard to let them go, but if you realize that they're your twin, then you know that they have to go on this other journey. Okay, they have to go off and do their own thing, because otherwise you can't reunite ever. Okay, they need to do their learning, you need to do your learning. If you accept that, so hard to let them go. So hard to let them go. But it's that, having that perspective, okay, of like, this isn't our only lifetime. And quite honestly, if you meet up with your twin at the wrong time, it can be the most heartbreaking situation ever. Okay, and it's just like, it's not healthy, it's toxic, it's all of those things, because the connection is so strong between you, but you're not in a position to actually reunite at this point. So it's not going to work, but that connection is so strong between you that it's just crazy, and it's heartbreaking, and it's infuriating, and it is, in those situations you have to get that balance. Quite often they are married already. Okay, they're all quite often, because they are a challenge to us. Okay, and for some twins, basically, they go off and then they come back, and then they go off and they come back, and it's the runner and the chaser, and the chaser and the runner, and it's just like, oh my god. And for some of you, it's just kind of like, this is the end of this phase with your twin. Okay, so you just forget about it, go off and do your own thing, and maybe at some point they'll come back in this lifetime. If not, they'll come back in another lifetime. They will never go away. You will never lose your twin, because they are the other half of you. Okay, but sometimes you just need to let them go. Right, I am going to go. Lots and lots of love to you, and I am not going to promise anything about readings, but we're nearly finished the building work, so fingers crossed it won't be too long before I can be back and be consistent. All right then, my darlings, I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.